Hello everybody, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition. And today, thought I'd bring you another unboxing. This might seem like deja vu because it's Imperium, but this one's Legends, right? So, by Osprey Games, you can see the price that I paid for it. But let's go ahead and jump into this and see what's in this box. So, when this first came out, I mean, it's still relatively new, but I initially got classics because I don't know. It was a back and forth. I do like Arthurian Legend, but I was like, Classics has more things I'm kind of interested in. It has the Vikings, has the Celts, it had Greeks, it had Romans, some of those classic civilizations or classic European civilizations. So that's why I ultimately ended up going with that one. But I did want to get this one in a local game store by me, ended up getting some of them, so I ran down to go ahead and pick up this other one because I like the game that much. So if you watch the unboxing of Imperium Classics, this is going to be much the same. Let's just put it there so it's not glaring too much for you guys. So of course you have your rule book, you have your solo rule book. You need this if you're playing. You need both of these. I mean, you need this if you're playing with a bunch of people, up to 4. You need this if you're playing by yourself. The game is a 1 to 4 player, so there are 4 players that can play. And it's a civilization building game. It's a deck building, civilization building game. And it takes about 30 minutes per player. When you're first learning, it takes a little bit longer. And if you've heard me talk about it, watched the videos before, I did a review on Classics. Legends is the same thing, just different civilizations, more civilizations. Just like the unboxings, there'll be a lot of the same stuff. Now I know exactly what they are. You have your people tokens, your populace tokens, you have your material tokens, your victory points. These numbers are for the single player mode. Then you have your exhaust tokens, your action tokens, and this is the market board. Basically, you set up and you put cards around it. But it's going to be the same. We already know the quality of them. They're good quality. It's all good quality. You get this die. In a couple of my videos, I said I didn't know what the die was for until we got to the single player. This is for single player. And once again, I'll just repeat myself. If you haven't seen it, I did a video on how to play this with the 4 players. Well, 2+, and how to play this with with the by yourself solo play. All right, so these are all going to be the same. Here's your Unrest deck. These well, no, there's King of Kings. I'd have to look much closer. These look a lot like they're the same. These are definitely the same. These are your state cards. You have Barbarian and Empire. So we'll go ahead and set those just back in here. One of the cool things, and I could show it right now and you guys can see it, is it's labeled down there. The other thing though is it's hard to kind of fit everything. They fit very tight once you sleeve everything. And I did them in basically penny sleeves, so they're, I don't know what, 100 millimeters, I think, is the thickness of them. But that's that. Here we have the region cards. We got Rainforest Mountains. The art on these are beautiful. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head if these are exactly the same. They look slightly different. I feel like some of these are different. But I would have to look at the other set, which I do have here. Actually, it's downstairs. But I'd have to look through them to see exactly. And then over here, what we have is the uncivilized. So we got mining and Jade Mask. I know Jade Mask's in the other one, so I'm assuming these. I don't remember seeing that one though. Espionage, interesting. Invasion, Monument. I won't go through all of them. I'll just show you guys some of this art because the art is really cool. It's one of the draws to this game for me. And so, yeah, you have, these are like civilized, uncivilized. I'm trying to think in my head. I'm pretty sure leadership's in the other one. All right. So now, like I said, I've been through this. I'm like a veteran in this game now. I'm going to jump over here before we get into the civilizations. So what do we have over here? We have the civilized, which I know this card's in the other one. So you have drama and education. I remember moneylender in the other one. Maybe it's gambler in the other one, and that one's different. Like I said, I'll have to see. So this makes your civilization deck, or at least part of it, and the rest goes into your market deck, which is a collection of your civilized, uncivilized region, and your tributary deck. It'll be, let's see the tributary deck. So, let's see. The Scythians are in the other one. There's the Vikings. Huh, that's weird. You can only play this one if you're civilized. Phoenicians. There's the Romans, the Greeks, the Carthaginians, the Persians, the Celts, the Macedonians, Ziongino. Pardon me for pronunciation. All right, so there's your tributaries. Now, maybe what you guys were really waiting to see is what civilizations comes in the Legends version of Imperium. So, here's the Murians. So like I said, the art's pretty cool. Some of these cards for different cultures are similar. They'll have the same name and things going on, but maybe a slightly different drawing. Like there's the tributaries, right? The Indian elephant, very cool. This deck obviously has unrest cards. So what happens is when you start your civilization, this is your deck. If you want to be the Murians, and once again, pronunciation, pardon me. But if you want to be them, this is your starting deck. You augment this deck with civilized cards, with region cards, with tributary, uncivilized, region, tributary, civilized. And there's the fame cards that are in here where I showed you guys the King of Kings and stuff like that. All right, so there's those guys. Who else do we have in here? The Egyptians. Wait, the Egyptians were actually a society. We talked about this, and I talked about a little bit with my buddy in Classics. There were some more mythological characters like Dido. Dido's the one that keeps popping in my head. But see, you can play as the Egyptians. Maybe this is considering legendary societies, so ones that have become legend, because we don't know so much about. And looking through these, you can see some of the same. They got a couple unrest cards in their deck. All right, who else do we have? There's only a couple that I remember off the top of my head that'll be in here. All right, the Atlanteans. If you wanted to be Namor, right? If you watched the previous video with all the Marvel stuff. They're under the sea. Do 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 do. Let's see. They don't have any. Oh yeah, if I remember, they don't have a nation deck, but they have. Come on, off the top of my head, development. This is your development deck. You could tell by the symbols at the bottom. And these are just your starting deck, basically. Yeah, if I remember right, the Atlanteans start civilized. Those bastards. Yeah. All right, who do we think's next? What do you guys think? No cheating, no looking down there. Oh, the Arthurians. Here's the guys that made me the most excited about this one because I'm a huge Arthurian legend fan. All right. Who do we have here? Sir Lancelot. Huh. Tristan the Bard, Excalibur. Belvedere. I don't know. I'd have to do a little more looking if they're taking more of the Celtic approach to the names. Morgana, there's his sister. Percival, he actually achieves the Holy Grail in the legends, right? There's, of course, King Arthur. Uther Pendragon, that's Arthur's father. At least that's what legend tells us. There's Merlin and Guinevere. And the theory is there was 2 Guineveres that he was married to during the time, but we don't know enough. So even King Arthur, his society, there was a king, there was a ruler, and they believe the stories were built off of, but how much of it do we really know? I think maybe that's kind of the kick for the legends. All right, so we got a couple more societies over here. We got 4 more to be exact, because there's 8 societies, civilizations in total. So, all right. Let's go through this. The Utopians. Yes. Can't remember if we are. Thomas More, right? Utopia, where we got the word utopia. So these are the Utopians, huh? So if you don't know, Thomas More wrote Utopia, which is really talking about lots of things. Free speech is one of them. Lots of unrest in the Utopian society, which is funny because The word utopia we got from Thomas More's book, The Utopians, which was supposedly a perfect society. But when you read about it, you can see where there would be problems and they wouldn't work. Or that society doesn't work for absolutely everybody. Here's the Queen. I actually thought the Queen was in the other set. That is the Great Wall of China. That's a long wall. All right, so we got the Quins in here. Unrest. Unrest was mixed in. Oh, because that unrest. This is what I was talking about. That half moon is your nation deck. So you start, remember I showed you that card. You start as Barbarian, red side. And then once you get through your nation deck and you get, this card in your hand, then you flip the nation deck over to, let's say Empire, but that's not what it is. You flip it to the blue side. All right, they got lots of unrest in their deck. And this symbol means that you put it in with if there's so many players, you put it in with the rest of the unrest cards. Now this is going to bother me what it's called, so I'm going to go ahead and look at it really quick. Oh, it is Empire. Hey! Empire or Barbarians. All right. I'm actually really excited about this. I went through a handful of the civilizations when I was playing, I was going to call it Legendary, when I was playing through Classics. So it'll be nice to have some more. Here's the Olmecs. It'd be nice to have more societies, civilizations to go up against, because when you play by yourself as a one player, there's a robot system basically built into the game that you play against the other civilization. I feel like it's handicapped. There are things you could do to make it harder. I feel like it's handicapped a little bit, but I've also been playing it on the basic mode. I haven't been playing on the higher modes, and I tend to win. There was one of them where I thought I wasn't going to, but I ended up winning overall in the end anyways. All right. And then the Minoans. We got the Minoans. And so, yeah, I think what this is are societies that became legend, because we just don't know enough about them. And the other ones, classic societies, we have enough written about them, or preserved that was written about them, that we kind of really know kind of what went on. So there's the Minoans. Asking me to run through the list of who's in this set, I couldn't tell you. I could bust out the rule book, though, which in the back gives you a blurb of everybody. All right, so the Legends has the Arthurians, it has the Atlanteans, it has the Egyptians, the Murians, the Minoans, the Olmecs, the Quinn, and the Utopians. And then, of course, in here, there's the Classics. These are both exactly the same as the Classics books, so that's a plus. I don't have to read over everything. It's literally just more stuff for me to add in. There are nuances depending on who you play. But this, sorry, I stopped and looked at my camera because I thought I wasn't recording and I freaked out for a second. I am recording, as you can tell. All right. But anyways, this was just an unboxing to show you what comes in Imperium Legends. If you were interested in what comes in it, the original one I got at a great deal for $28, $29. This one you saw I got for $32. So what, $3, $4 more. I still think it's worth it at this. The MSRP on this is $40. At $40, I still think it's worth it. But this is a game you definitely have to put work into, understand the rules, and play. It's a more crunchy, which crunchy means more number counting, more things you can do, style deck builder, a civilization builder. So if you're into it, it really does give to you if you put into it. If you want to know more, you can check my review out. It was about Classics, but it's actually Legends is just the same. It's just more civilizations. In the review for Classics and how to play for Classics, I did talk about Legends a little bit too, because there's certain things that change based on what civilizations you're playing with. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and watch that video. The Imperium Classics, how to play solo review. I did do an unboxing on that one. I believe I unboxed that with something else though. But if you want to know more about it, go ahead and check those out. But I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. I'll see you later, everybody. Bye.